Hey guys, Mr. Graves here. I am doing the fourth video of the fifth video. Um, and I'm sorry, I should have started on the right page. There we go. We're supposed to be writing the slope in standard form. And no, sorry, the slope when given the standard form. Now I'm gonna write the steps as I do when I do the first one, so that way you guys can be able to catch on a little bit faster on this. Okay. So first thing I need to do. When they give me this, I'm going to draw my line. And my first step, I'm going to do my first step in red, right over here on the side, step one. I'm going to move the x coefficient by doing the inverse. My favorite song's playing in the background, no effects. So the opposite of this positive 3x is a minus 3x. I'm going to subtract 3x on both sides. Then my second step, I'm going to bring everything down. Well, I'm actually going to just do that in red for the sake of time. This goes away. Negative 2y, because it's going to be a very long video. Oh my gosh. It's 3x. Then my second step is I'm going to divide everything by the x coefficient. So I'm going to divide by the y coefficient right there, y coefficient. So when I do that, I divide everything by negative 2. So now this goes away. So y will equal negative 6 divided by 2 is a positive 8. Plus 3 negative 3 divided by negative 2 just positive 3 over 2x, and I'm done. So that's all there is to it, guys. Just those two steps. And this is for converting, right? Converting from slope to standard form. And I'm going to do the rest of these, but I'm going to still keep those two steps of how I did it, okay? So let me erase all the words I've written here. So if you're watching the video, you're sure to take note of that. Oh, Lord. All right, now number 2. I'm going to do the same thing. Draw my line. We're going to focus on moving 13x over by doing the opposite of positive 13x, which is negative 13x. But when I do to one side, I do the same to the other side. See that? Bring everything down. I have negative 11y now equals to negative 12 minus 13x. Then my second step, now I'm going to go ahead and divide everything by negative 11. Remember, it's 2 steps. First step in green, second step in blue. This goes away. So now y is going to equal a positive 12 over 11 plus 13 over 11x. Again, 2 negatives makes a positive. That's why I got that as my answer. Okay, let me do one that's maybe a little more, that's more nuanced, right? So first I'm going to do, draw my line. I'm going to focus on number 6 real fast. So first I'm going to do here is I'm going to move the 4x over. Positive, the opposite of positive 4x is negative 4x to both sides. Bring it down to negative y. Bring everything else down. This is 1 minus 4x. Now, I know it doesn't look like it has a 1 in front of that y. That's why you're going to go and you're going to put 1. I'm going to erase the negative symbol and write a 1 in front of it. And now we can divide everything by negative 1. So when I do that, that goes away, and y equals negative 1 plus 4x. You can rewrite this, by the way, as y equals 4x minus 1. Typically, a lot of times, your teachers will, when you guys get to high school, they may ask that you make sure that you actually write it where the slope comes first. Okay, but we're not there. You guys are not are not yet there yet, so I don't blame you. All right, on number 5, I'm gonna go ahead here. I'm going to do the opposites of let me pick a color. There we go. Of 6x by subtracting 6x on both sides. I'm not gonna do all of this though, because it's just gonna be too much. Because I still have to do 3 other pages worth of assignments here in this video. Bring everything down. So negative 15 minus 6x. I'm going to divide everything by 5. Oops, I should use a different color for that, shouldn't I? So let me come back over here and use this one. Divide everything by 5. So y is going to equal negative 3 minus 6 over 5x. You can write this as y equals negative 6 over 5x minus 3, where you have the x coefficient first, followed by the y-intercept. Remember, slope-intercept form, guys, is when you have x and y on different sides, and all these numbers, all these ones they gave me on this first page, they have x and y on the same side. So that's how I convert. Now I'm going to go to the second page now, and on this part here, they're giving us an equation, and they want us to write the standard form. Make sure I circle that. They want us to write the standard form here, okay? So it's much easier to go from slope-intercept form to standard form. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to write the slope formula, y equals mx plus b. This is my x, this is my y, and this is my m. Plug everything in. 2 will equal 7 times 1 plus the b. I don't know what the b is. So 2 then will equal 7 plus b. To find the b, I subtract both sides by 7. So 2 minus 7 is negative 5. That's my b. So I can write my answer now as y equals, have the b now, right? Y equals 7x minus 5. We're not done, of course, because now we need to take that slope-intercept form and write into standard form. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and subtract 7x on both sides. 7x, and of course that's a plus y. So negative 5 is going to equal negative 7x plus y. I'm done. Now it's in standard form, because as you can see, you have x and y on the same side. When I say standard form, I mean you have ax plus whatever the y number is equal to the integer, right? So if something's like 3x plus 4y is equal to 5, that is in standard form. Okay? Let's do another example. Let's do number 10. So again, I'm going to start off with the y equals mx plus b. This is my m, this is my x, and this is my y. I plug everything in. Negative 1 is equal to negative 1 times 3 plus b. So negative 1 is equal to negative 3 plus b. I add 3 on both sides to get rid of that negative 3. So negative 1 plus 3 is a 2. So we have our b, right? But we have to be careful, because now we need to take that and plug it back into the equation. So y will equal negative 1x plus 2, right? In the slope-intercept form. I'll write it out here. Slope-intercept form. So that's the way we have mx plus b. So example of that would be like a 2x plus 5, right? That's an example of slope-intercept form. Equals y. Notice that the x and the y are on different sides. So for me to get that one looking like that, I need to do the opposites of minus 1x, which is plus 1x. But what I do to one side, I do to the other side, right? Goes away. So 1x plus y is equal to 2. Just bring that 2 down here. And I am done. So I hope that helps clarify how we go from standard form to slope-intercept. Oh, no, from slope-intercept form to standard form. Okay, so now let's go to page 3. On page, oh no, that's just like, oh, no, I'm gonna skip that one. In fact, I should probably just leave that one off completely. You know what? No, let's do it. Let's do it. It's just math. Let's do it. So this one, right? Let me pick one that you cannot do number 14. I'm just letting you know that right now, because if the slope is undefined, that means there's no number. So you can't even do number 14. However, you can definitely do number 15. I'm going to do number 15 because that's a fraction. And for whatever reason, you guys hate fractions. I don't know why kids hate fractions. Okay, so I have my x, my y, and my m. I'm going to plug in my formula, y equals mx plus b, because I need to write all these equations in what is called the slope-intercept form. But I'm also going to talk about the point-slope form, because getting y'all ready for college, not for college, for high school, is not a bad thing. Oops. I believe everyone here is going to be in the 9th grade, by God's graces. So I plug in my numbers. I know my m is equal to, my y is equal to 1. M is a half. X is 3 plus b. So 1 is equal to a half of 3, which is 1.5 plus b. I subtract 1.5 on both sides. So I'm going to have 1 minus 1.5 should be negative 0.5. But let me take my calculator to make sure. Can that say, so 1 minus 1.5 is indeed negative a half. So my b is equal to negative a half. I have everything I need to write my answer. So y is going to equal 1/2 x minus a half, or 0.5. You can write it either way, and that's fine. Now, I'm going to talk about something a little bit different, something called the point-slope form. Now, this will probably not pop up anywhere on Unit 4, but still, as a teacher, I have to explain this to you. So in the point-slope form, we have y minus y1 equals mx minus x1. I prefer the point-slope form to do these, and you guys are going to see why, because once you do it, it's oh my God, it's like so awesome. So x1 is this guy here, and this is y1, and this is of course my m. I'm gonna plug that into my formula. So I have y minus 2 is equal to 2, which is the m, and x minus negative 1. Before I continue, I need to look here. 2 negatives makes a positive, so I have y minus 2 equals 2 parentheses x plus 1, right? I can distribute it now. 2 times x is 2x, and 2 times 1 is just 2. And now to find my final answer, I'm just going to go ahead and add both sides with 2, because the opposite of minus 2 is plus 2. So y is going to equal 2x plus 4. And I am done. So as you can see, oh, I love that song that's playing in the background. Lifehouse. So just to clarify, the point slope form, the reason I like it is you're just simply taking what they give you, right? Plugging in numbers, distribute, right? And after you distribute, you just go ahead and add or subtract the number next to the y, and you're done. So some of you guys are going to probably prefer the point slope form, and I recommend you guys use that instead. Okay, I know I do. Now, the last page we're talking about is when things are parallel and perpendicular. Again, this may not pop up in Unit 4, but as your teacher, I need to show you. I'm going to talk about when things are parallel. So when things are parallel, the slope they give you is what you're going to use, right? So parallel means, I'm going to write it, can I write it on the side here? I think I can. So I can say parallel means same slope. So at least you have that part of your work done for you. So I'm going to do these. I know my m is going to be negative 3/4. My x1 is going to be 4. Y1 is going to be 2. I'm going to plug in these numbers into my formula for the point slope form. Going forward, I'm going to use that because they want us to write it in point slope form. Okay, so with that said, now I'm going to write my formula y minus y1 equals m x minus x1. So I'm going to do y minus 2 because the y1 is 2. M is negative 3/4, which is also 75 cents. And the x1 is 4. So I know y minus 2 is going to equal this distributed, which is going to be negative 3/4x. And negative 3 times negative 4 is positive 12/4. So then y minus 2 is going to equal negative 3/4x plus 3, because 12 divided by 4 is 3. Then I'm going to add 2 to both sides. So y would equal 3/4x plus 5. A lot of work, huh? It's okay. I'm going to do a couple more because I know this is fresh and new for a lot of us. Okay, so I will definitely be helping you out for again. Remember, number 18 here is parallel. The things that parallel is going to have the same slope, right? So our m is equal to 7/3. X1, they said, is negative 3 right here, right? Y1 is going to be also negative 3. Plug it all in. Y minus y1 equals m x minus x1. Y1 is a negative 3. See how I put it in parentheses? M is a positive 7/3. And the x1 is also negative 3. There we go. So remember, two negatives make a positive. So you're really adding the opposite, right? So that becomes y plus 3 equals 7/3 x plus 3. So y plus 3 is going to equal, I distribute now, right? 7/3 times x is 7/3x. And when I multiply 7/3 times positive 3, I get a positive 21/3. So then I divide 21 divided by 3 is 7. I subtract 3 on both sides. So y is equal 7/3x plus 4. And we're done. So that is the video, guys. I'm not going to go through all these problems. If you want me to, you can send me a text. Say, hey, Ms. Graves, show the rest of these problems. I'm like, yeah, when I'm not bogged down with all these phone calls I have to make. But you guys take care. Remember, my tutorials is Monday through Thursday, 8 a.m. to 5. I also do after school if you text me on Google Voice, and I will let you into my Zoom classroom to do a quick 30-minute session, okay? Y'all take care. Thank you for everything.